Hey guys, we're back. The day has finally arrived for the end of Season 2.
And our last recap.
Episode 226.
Moving out. And once again, we have a special guest with us on the phone. Really, really excited about this one.
Yeah.
Abigail Brown! Abby, say hi!
Say hi, Abby.
Okay, just kidding.
But
we have a lot to say. It starts in the triple, which I think like all three of the guys in the triple have an objective for the day. And for Danny B, it's to get through talking to Lacey one last time and then taking his final.
Yeah.
And then for Shane, it's passing the final so he doesn't get kicked out of college. And for Gopher, it's... I think he was going to tell Abby, be upfront with her about how he feels, but at the same time... kind of give up, I think, because he realized that she was engaged. It's just like a perfect little bookend to like how they started out, because they were sitting in the same order and they're all like hugging and laughing, but this time Danny B was a part of it, and in fact he was laughing, which is like the first time anyone ever heard him laugh, which is really funny because it's kind of like a really awkward laugh. So Danny B meets with Lacey. I feel like I shouldn't ever be shocked by anything that she does, but I was actually a little surprised that she was trying to get back together with him. I don't know. Like, I don't know why that surprised me.
Well, I think she was just giving him a last chance.
Right.
Before
she ruined his life.
Right.
He doesn't get to take his final. And
so
she
mean.
is so crazy.
When she was talking with the camera. You know, it's just, she's unabashedly a psychopath.
Because she's like, call me. We'll hang out. And I'll rip your fingernails off if you break up with me. Is... back on the floor. We've
been saying for the past few weeks, oh, it's good to have the old Josh back. And I think that it was really noticeable in this week's episode. You know, saying funny comments about Inuits. And finally, he was able to create something that the whole floor would understand.
And at the beginning, it was so weird seeing Shane with a different t-shirt on.
Without a black t-shirt.
Right. So we later found out that Josh had stolen that. He steals the fan mail schman mail mirror. I think he's always kind of devalued sentiment and anything that might be kind of like cheesy or, you know, sentimental. And I think he finally found that there is value in that, and it can be artistic. Yeah. Let's talk about Courtney and Brittany. They have a kind of a neat conversation. And I personally really like this because I think what happens a lot, your friendships change a lot. So, you know, Courtney was kind of worried that they weren't friends anymore. Yeah. And so I thought it was important to sort of address that, like, you know, a lot happens in a year at college. It's so much different than when you're home. I
think conversations like those need to be had so that you can reassure each other.
Yeah, I think you do have to kind of like reaffirm your friendships every once in a while. And then Mike comes in, and I think that was kind of good closure to see the three of them, and all the awkwardness is pretty much gone, and they could be really open with each other, and, you know, the lines of friendship are clearly drawn.
Pretty much finalized the fact that they would not be together at this point in their college careers, and you know, I've had the week to digest this.
Yeah.
So.
What are the steps of
grieving? Yeah, I think I finally
Denial,
reached the acceptance.
Anger, acceptance. At the beginning of the episode, Gopher said he was just going to write a letter to Abby saying how he felt, and I was really worried that this was Gopher's, like, I thought it was Gopher's letter. He goes out to the gazebo, and it looks like she's upset. And he gives her his letter, so I was like, oh, well then what was she reading? Right. And she shows him, and it was a letter apparently from home that her horse died. So they get to be together, and it was just like the sweetest moment when she like took his hand, and then she marked him, and I thought that was so great because it was like, as many differences as these two seem to have, and like, yeah, these two do belong together, you know what I mean?
They might have some things in common. That whole scene, you're right, that whole scene was very simple and pure.
Yes. I was actually kind of, like, I kind of wanted them to kiss, but I was actually kind of glad that they didn't. Meanwhile, Shane is freaking out because Danny is nowhere to be found. He is wherever he is when he goes away, which I thought was funny. But Shane did make it to the final and did apparently a good job on his test because he decided to write Danny's name at the top instead of his own. we've seen a lot of great displays of awesome friendship from a lot
just
of people
him being
before.
very loyal.
But he, I think, has always been the one who's just gone above and beyond for everyone. I'm gonna cry. That was the scene that, like, there were moments all throughout where I was, like, getting a little teary-eyed. That was a scene where I just, like, it was a waterworks. Like, I had lost it.
Marshall and
Yeah,
Steph.
that was another moment that was really emotional. Like, that Marshall told Steph that he had recommended her as an RA, which I thought was really awesome because he knew that was something that she wanted, and he had discouraged her in the past.
He always marginalized her.
Yeah, exactly. He actually said the words "I'm sorry" to her and meant it, and, like, to me that was, like, the biggest thing he ever could have done.
Yeah, and so Steph said, this doesn't change our relationship at all.
And he was like, it's not supposed to. That was honestly huge too, because it was like he's not doing it so he can get back on her good side so they can get back together or something like that, or that she'll feel sorry for him, but he's just doing it because it's the right thing to do. Yeah. And I was really confused because he, like, went over and knocked on Mike's door, and I was like, oh my gosh, is he gonna seriously apologize?
Right,
and, like, what? No, he didn't. He
was old.
He was the same old Mike and Marshall relationship. That was I thought that was the funniest part, was when he started doing, like, the sheep, like, the bat, like, in his face. While Marshall, we see that he hasn't totally changed. Yeah. We see that he has adjusted a little bit to his attitude. And I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but his duty blues, normally the collar's totally popped. And during that scene, it was down.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if that's on purpose or if that was just an accident, but to me it was kind of symbolic that it was like having a different attitude, right? Making a little change.
Yeah, like when Courtney discovered how her fan mail mirror works.
Duh. I love that. At the very end, Josh brings them out in the hallway and they get to see the collection. Yeah. I think what was artistic about it was that they were sort of like looking in a mirror, that they could see all these things that represented them, but then in the middle was that camera, and ended up taking a picture of them reacting to seeing all those things. So it was like a picture of them seeing a reflection of themselves. Right. You know what I mean? And I thought that was really, really cool. Then I loved that at the end of the credits, the picture had gotten really small, and then the spaceship came and was like, that was like perfect, because that was my favorite thing about the documentary, was that little, like, spaceship thing.
Just the worst video graphics ever, but it was just really
just,
funny.
The perfect thing to end. So, thumbs up, thumbs down for the final time.
Wow. My final thumbs up goes to Josh. We keep saying it, but he came full circle, and he finally learned to create something. It doesn't come from removing yourself from whatever stance. I think it needs to be a reflection of who you are, who your friends are, and he created something that not only he thought was beautiful, but that other people could appreciate as well.
First of all, I'm going to say I want to give an honorable mention thumbs up to Shane, because he went above and beyond. The sacrifice that he made of taking Danny's test for him, basically, like, was huge. But I want to give my thumbs up to Marshall, because I feel like if there's ever a time that he deserved it, it's in this episode, and I don't want to overlook that, because this is the first time we've ever seen him apologize for his actions, compliment someone else, and do something without getting something out of it for himself.
I'll echo about Shane as well. Overall, and throughout the whole season, has just shown his loyalty so many times.
Yeah.
And
he's never once gotten a thumbs down. Do you know that?
No.
Okay, speaking of thumbs down, the only person I could possibly give a thumbs down to, and you probably know who it is, it's Lacey, because she's an evil witch.
I'm also this week going to give my thumbs down to Lacey, because you can't give a thumbs down to anyone else.
No, in the past we've given, like, the whole floor a thumbs up. I think we should probably do that for this episode, too. Just say, entire floor thumbs up. We just saw the best in everyone, I think.
Yeah.
We can't do a thing to consider or who to watch, because there's nothing left
that's the
to
end.
watch.
Thank you guys so much for watching us this whole season.
Thank you so much for sending in questions, for our guests and everything. Yeah, we love that there are other people out there who love Dorm Life as much as we do. giving your thumbs up and thumbs down and your things to consider and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So thank you so much for an awesome season.
It's hard to say, but
This is it. Thanks, guys.
all right. Bye.
Bye.